Hello all UR Talk fans to a special edition of UR Talk, where me and Sliffy will be reviewing the brand new Miss Clint City card that recently came out. After about a month of voting and stuff, they finally announced the new winner of Miss Clint City. And Sliffy, very firstly, are you actually surprised that it was Jessie that won it?
Yeah, I was actually really surprised. I didn't really think that she was a major candidate. I thought either Tula or me.
Yeah, there was also apparently Tula and Lucia came second and third or something. So I don't know. Apparently it surprised everyone and all that. And before we start this review, because I always forget to talk about this, but let us thank White Dragon 11 for being so ultra awesome and all that. We always forget about him, but he's the person who actually provides us with the cards, so we can actually test them out and everything. So a quick.
I remember all the time. This guy doesn't remember all the time.
Yeah, unfortunately. Anyway, right, so the new Miss Clint City card came out, and of course it's Miss Jessie, as I said. And if you've never seen a kind of a Miss Clint City release, or you don't really know about them, then usually Miss Clint City cards aren't as good as the original card, except for Miss Chloe and Chloe, of course, but we'll get into that some other time. But usually they're not as strong as the original release, but they are still pretty strong actually. Well, some of them are okay or whatever, and this one is no kind of exception really. It's an okay card, but we'll get into the review in a minute. Just a quick facts though about the Miss Jessie actually. Apparently the person who actually drew the card itself actually was it was his first card. So there you go. His first card managed to get Miss Clint City. So there you go.
Truly inspiring.
Truly inspiring indeed. And another fact, which I probably can't remember now. Yeah, I think all the Miss Clint City cards actually, every single one, the original card is actually a rare. I think that's right. Let's think. So there's Chloe, that's a rare.
Yes, Lullaby.
Lullaby's a rare. And Jessie, yeah. Apart from maybe Gabrielle, which is uncommon, but we'll forget about her. Yeah, whatever. Anyway. Okay, right, so let's get into this review. So firstly, Sliffy, what is your initial thoughts on Miss Jessie?
You remember Gyro, right? From Bangers?
The who, what? The
Gyro,
yeah?
From Bangers? Yeah, I think she's a lot like him. Because obviously she's one all about, which is nice. She can go through damage reducers, and there's a lot of damage nowadays because they can eat out, and most clans have a good damage reducer, so she can go through that. The problem is that her solid power is actually pretty good, and 6 with all-star bonus is decent. However, it's not as good as Jessie, normal Jessie is, and so you must feel you're pretty weak, even though you're pretty strong still. But she can cause a gap of 5, I believe, with support, and that's pretty cool. But the problem is you need teammates, so she's not really happy that workable. But overall, I think she's a pretty good card.
Okay then. Okay, Sliffy. So do you think that she's the third kind of best all-star then in the all-star kind of?
She's the third best offensive card. I think if you really need a third 2-star, I don't know why you would overlook. But I would still say some people take Ashley over her due to Ashley's damage abilities, or Spaghetti if you don't want to do support. So
yeah, the splash is important.
Right.
The splash.
I like her. She's good art. The plus life is important sometimes. Can save your life at times. But she has a few flaws like SOA that you can't overlook. There's a lot of people who thought that I was going to not use her during SOAs. So she's a good mind game card too, I guess. But I think that's situational.
Yeah. I think the problem is when I was testing her was the fact that it was really hard to actually use her, and you would rarely actually win with her, unfortunately, which is a sad fact actually, because unfortunately she's actually not overly strong. I mean, even with the 6 power, if you go up against SOA, which is, of course, the All-Stars weakness, then she'll be sitting there all day pretty much, not really doing anything in the game. With the kind of bonus, though, she can still fare okay, it's just hard to use her. I found it very hard to use her in the battle itself, actually. I don't know if that's...
Right, I think that's what but yeah, I think that's what people are a lot more than SOA, which sounds weird, because she really needs her ability. But even without her ability, she's a good blocker, I guess, to say. Obviously she's a really bad card when SOA doesn't see it, so. But she can actually she gets 100 times.
Yeah. I had a statement from someone recently, actually, about the Miss Clint City cards, and someone said, like, "Oh, you silly fool. Everyone knows that the Miss Clint City cards are bad, and everything," and,
Right.
Yeah, they're only there for art or something, and, do you agree with that statement, though? Do you think that all the Miss Clint City cards aren't very good compared to their...
One sec. Hi. Vertical. Be nice. Kids move stuff. Hey. There's some level cards. It's not like Bob Joby or anything. They have solid stats and fine abilities. But overall, yeah, I think they are mostly for the art. And, I think the fans really like the fact that one mistake, choose something, and it looks pretty. And, it's well drawn, and it's an event. It's, like, Noels are like an event. But it is mostly for the art, not really for gameplay. It doesn't really change the game anyway.
Yeah, no, as they said, it's for an event and everything, gives people to do something on the game, really, and, kind of discuss who's going to be the next Miss Clint City or something, I don't know, but whatever, it's kind of fun with all the kind of, the player voting and everything. Although, do you think it actually was player voted? I'm just, cause I think a lot of people wanted Tula to be the Miss Clint City. I'm just throwing that one out.
I think it's player voted. They have nothing to really gain or lose from not being player voted.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I don't really know many Jessie supporters, so I'm quite surprised. I think it was rigged.
Okay. Wait, what the hell?
Hmm?
It was an echo.
I don't know.
Final question to you, Sliffy. Do you think that the plus life is better than the plus damage? Do you think that plus damage, do you think that would have made her so much better?
Not really at all, because, for one thing, it's plus 4 damage. 5 damage doesn't really 2 a KO much. I know people are going to say she can 2 a KO with, like, Asperov, with Marina, with all that SC damage instead. But at the same time, Gyro, as I said before, Gyro from Bangers.
Yeah.
Well, he can 2 a KO with power. He can 2 a KO with Angie. He can 2 a KO with, like, Sleem and stuff. And he doesn't really change the game, because he's kind of weaker. But... she's kind of weaker too. It's important, but even if she damage, she refuse anything.
Okay then. My final question then is, what is your rating out of 10 then for this card?
I think I rated her 7.5. I have a 7 now. She's a card. She has stats, she's solid life. She's, but she's not as strong as her companion, so when you need to win with her, she's probably not going to come for you at the end.
Yeah. Unfortunately for me, I'll probably agree with you there. Unfortunately, she's not an overly good card. But that said, though, she is a Miss Clint City card, so it's like, what the hell did you expect, really? I'm just throwing that one out. But she's an okay card. Not great, but then, I suppose if you want to have fun or something in mono, you can use her. Very good counter bluff card against, just kind of take your opponent's, surprise buck sex your opponent, really, and all that. But... there you go. Yeah, alright, so I would 7 out of 10, it's an okay card and everything. And that's pretty much it, really. I mean, yeah, so that's it for the review, unfortunately. Of course, this was only one card, because, of course, this is a special UR talk and everything. Just before we end the show, we must say that this UR talk went on... We've been having technical difficulties for about an hour now, so... What should have taken about 5 minutes has taken us about an hour and 10 minutes. So just remember, guys, the amount of time we spend trying to, review cards for you, for your entertainment and everything,
All 3 of our viewers.
All 3. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And, that the third one's actually myself, really. It's
The second one, so.
It's the second one, yeah, exactly. Alright, so I'll see you guys all later. This is, me and Sliffy.
Bye.
Signing out.
Bye.